My name is Pamela Harrison, and I am an educator and student in today's educational system. I've been exploring the changes in how we prepare our students for the future, and educators today will all agree that as our society is changing, so must our educational system. We must find ways to close the educational gap. The ISTE, or International Society for Technology and Education, has recognized the need for education to transform to meet the needs of students for the future. They focus time and resources to researching and developing new standards for all those involved in the educational field: students, teachers, administrators, and even technology coaches. For today, we're going to focus on the standards for students and teachers. It's often been said that 1 + 1 = 3, and though this is mathematically incorrect, it's true that sometimes the sum has greater value than the parts alone. The ISTE has identified many of the elements of education and the need for technology integration. In this, they've created a much stronger framework that challenges the traditional ideas of education. Much of the framework is based on the shift to 21st century thinking and parallels the 21st century skills framework. The first standard for students ensures that students become active in their learning. It's important that students become capable of leading their own learning and seek out ways to set and achieve goals, as well as utilize methods to seek and apply feedback. Digital citizenship has become a buzzword in the educational system, but the ISTE recognizes that it's truly important. With the growing reliance on technology, students must be taught how to be safe, responsible, and respectful when using technology. In previous teaching models, there was a great focus on acquiring knowledge and information. In 21st century environment, information and knowledge are at our fingertips, but students have to learn how to move past memorization and to process vast amounts of knowledge available. Research strategies, evaluation of credibility and accuracy, and exploration of possibilities for application of this information are key for future success. Bloom's taxonomy places design within the highest order of thinking skills. The ISTE recognizes its priority also. Student Standard 4 requires that they become innovative designers. This means they will gather information, synthesize theories and hypotheses, and create artifacts or solve problems based on those. Now, the computational thinker or critical thinker is able to break information down into component parts and analyze it to better understand the complex systems or facilitate problem solving. This has been a long-held skill, but has become increasingly important when considering the rapid advances that are being made and the overwhelming need to keep up with those changes. With the explosion of social media, digital communication seems like an easy area for students to grasp. However, they have to learn how to identify appropriate platforms and tools to communicate clearly and effectively in formal and networking situations. Also, not all communications are best served in under 144 characters or through a photo. That framework ties in closely with the next one. Students must also learn to be global collaborators. Technology has made the world a much smaller place and has made resources available that were not accessible before. Like critical thinking, it has always been necessary for people to work with others to examine issues and problems from multiple viewpoints, but now students need to learn to use digital tools to connect with learners from a variety of backgrounds and cultures and engage with them in new ways. Now, just as students need to adjust to learning in a whole new way, so too do the teachers. In the traditional model of the educator, the teacher adopted a sage on the stage mentality and was trained to have the knowledge and to pass it on to the next generation. Teachers are in a shift from this to the role of initiator, providing an environment which allows students to progress in a variety of paths and speeds to achieve maximum success based on strengths and weaknesses. Teachers must be lifelong learners. Information and instructional methods are constantly changing, and teachers must explore and apply new approaches made possible by technology. Teachers must stay current with research and application of these to achieve desired student outcomes. Being a leader often means serving. This is also true within the ISTE framework. Teachers must be models of and advocates for responsible technology use within education. Educators have always shaped the beliefs of those they teach, and it's important to use technology to advance the empowerment of students. Some of the standards for teachers closely parallel the standards for students. The third teacher standard is one of these. Just as students must become responsible digital citizens, so must the teachers. When teachers establish a learning culture that promotes curiosity and critical examination of online resources, they create a positive experience for learners to make responsible contributions online. As any teacher will attest, collaboration is necessary for success. No man is an island, and the education environment is no exception. Teachers must collaborate with colleagues, experts, and even students to discover and use new digital resources and to troubleshoot technology issues. As students learn to become innovative designers, teachers must design principles and activities that personalize learning experiences, foster independence, and accommodate different needs and strengths. As a facilitator, a teacher provides students with an open environment and a culture that encourages exploration of ideas and resources, while at the same time supporting student independence and providing necessary scaffolding for success. This is not an easy task, but it is imperative to create learning opportunities that challenge students to use the design skills and computational thinking that has become so critical. The final ISTE teacher standard, and possibly the most important, is that of teacher as analyst. To truly prepare students for the future, educators must learn to provide alternative ways for students to demonstrate competency and reflect on their learning. This may be through formative or summative assessments, but it must provide timely and informative data which can guide instruction. These standards can be found on the ISTE website along with articles, professional development resources, and information about subscribing to the Empowered Learning magazine. Those are some pretty amazing advantages for students, and there are wonderful tools available for teachers to use. It's important to remember that instead of being a challenge to overcome, technology can help us achieve many of the goals that we saw as impossible before. Thank you for listening. This is Pamela Harrison, and we are Closing the Gap.